think that's tough. Shout out to Fat Joe for standing across from Ja. I know a lot of people wouldn't have wanted to do it. Allegedly, Ja was trying to get 50 to do it.
And that's the thing. Like 50 was, leading up to the battle, 50 didn't say a whole lot.
I agree.
And then after the fact, like he's been super vocal. I think because Irv Gotti said something, mostly because people were pointing out how quiet 50 Cent was. And Irv Gotti said something along the lines of, like, you guys are idolizing this guy who you think ended Murder Inc., when in reality, he didn't end Murder Inc. My criminal charges ended Murder Inc. And 50 was just like, don't make me dead y'all's careers again. And, people came in with the facts. And it's like, yeah, he might have, like, embarrassed Ja Rule. But, again, Ja Rule didn't, like, fall off the face of the earth. Like, it just changed the trajectory of his career to the point where he wasn't as popular. But he still has mad fans.
And I think the other part is the reality that it's hard to have a Wayne, Drake, Jay-Z run in music. Mm-hmm. And Ja's run is long. He goes back to early Jay.
The first Jennifer Lopez, like Bennifer. Like they didn't. I think that's what a lot of people fail to remember, or they just forget because of the whole hoopla with him and 50. And 50's starting to get on my nerves, to be 100% honest. Like, I just want him to just make TV shows and be quiet, because he just be saying stuff out the side of his face, and it's just really starting to get irritating. Like, don't be so miserable all your life.
I mean, for me, like, I'm all for a good troll. But when you have a platform like Verzuz, there's no way Ja Rule should have been on that stage, and you shouldn't have been on that stage across from him. Like, I don't want to hear
50 could beat Ja Rule.
And that's the thing. I think 50 got around his people. I don't know if he's still dating Cuban Link or whoever he with. And
no idea.
I don't either. But I think he sat down and said, you know what? I got a bunch of joints, but Ja got a bunch of joints. Mm-hmm. And for 50 to be 50, that's one of those risks you don't take. Because if he got on that stage and it went how I think it would go, it would be really, really hard for him to live that down.
Yeah, it wouldn't have went very well. Because, like, I remember Get Rich or Die Trying, how a mega smash hit that album was. Mm-hmm. But then what was after that?
The Massacre?
Was it The Massacre?
I think so.
And I remember, like, 3 songs after that. But then after The Massacre,
his songs, yes, but similar to Ja, 50 did have a bunch of features, and he got a bunch of G Units.
He did. And so if you culminate all of that, he could come up with a solid 20.
Probably 3 features on Games documentary.
Yeah.
Probably strong points.
And good. And so it's just like, when you put all 3 of those all of that together, yes, he has 20 songs. But do those 20 songs do better than Ja Rule's 20? Because, like I said, like, Ja Rule played some hits, but he left a lot of money on the table as far as what he could have done. But I think, like, as we saw the battle going, like, he was adjusting his list. Mm-hmm. Like, he was going up and switching stuff around. Like, you saw him talking to the DJ, doing all that. And so I think had it been him against 50 Cent, we would have seen a whole different battle.
Agreed. But I also think the key in Verzuz, and we saw this with Dipset and Locks, we saw it with this, and we've seen it with some others, whoever can get the other person to change their strategy typically wins. And we saw that after the intermission, Fat Joe came out with a bunch of the R&B joints, the singing joints. He realized this street angle is not working.